Blue Rocket Views here, bringing to you Wizardry 8. This game is super old, okay? Not gonna lie, this is very old. This came out in like 2001, I believe. There are no more Wizardry games. This is the last one. Technically, the company that made it was, I think, Surtech Canada or something like that. I don't know. They went out of business producing this game because they had lots of nightmares trying to just get this game into production, into CD production, into the boxes and sold, and they dealt with so much problems with it that they just went bankrupt, and the entire Wizardry franchise was bought out by some company in Japan or something, and there's now a Wizardry MMO. Woo! Wizardry Online. No, I ain't playing that. They completely changed this game. This game has one special thing about it that I love about it. The rest of it is pretty bad. It's not that good. The graphics are really bad. The gameplay is okay. It's okay. If you like your turn-based games, it's okay. It's all good. But it's not spectacular. It isn't really good. It's okay. If you like Final Fantasy 1 through 6 or 7 or even 10, like the gameplay of that where you all these turns and stuff, it's pretty good. But it's not as good as a Final Fantasy or Golden Sun or any of those RPGs, because it's a dungeon crawler kind of thing. You'll see. It's not that good. But what this game has that no other RPG game has is the ability to create every single character in the entire party, not just one of the characters. This isn't like Dungeon Siege, where you create one character, a whole bunch of characters you can recruit, and you choose who you recruit, and blah 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 blah. No, isn't it like Final Fantasy? Well, Final Fantasy 2 through the rest of them. Like in Final Fantasy 1, you get to choose your party, but they're predetermined characters. All right, let me show you. Let me go to Start New Game. All right. So we have here, these are characters, these are examples of characters you can make in a game. Pretty cool, right? Yeah. You're already noticing the graphics. This is the graphics part. This is kind of just menus. This game is all about menus. But as you see here, like there's all these classes, and characters, and names and stuff. And all these stats. It's just, oh man, this game is so... It has more depth than most RPGs. It's crazy. I think it follows some kind of D&D rules of some kind, but a completely different set of rules. I'm not really sure. Nor do I really care, to be honest. I'm not that much of a nerd to actually know or care about that. I just know that I absolutely love the character creation for this game, because it's not often that you can create the entire party, create all 6 of these slots. I can create a character for and be in complete control over them. Not only that, you can just do a hybrid. You can be like, I want it to be this class, now I want to change it to this other class. And you get to keep some of those powers and abilities you gained from being the previous class. It's an amazing system. If only the graphics were better and the gameplay was a little bit better. I believe right now there's like what, Legends of Grimrock or something like that. It's supposed to be a tribute to a game like this, but it's better graphics, but they made it too dungeon crawler like. And I don't like the fact that you still can't see your party when you fight. I digress. Let's move on. We're going to create some characters, and I'll start describing what the heck happens in this game, how it works. Okay, so first of all, here are all the classes. That's a lot of classes. That's a lot. Okay, This is your basic fighter, a Lord and a Valkyrie. They're basically fighters. However, they can eventually learn spells. There are four magic classes in this game. Here, right down here. Priest, Alchemist, Psionic, and Mage. Notice I skipped Bishop. Bishop is all four of them. Alright? Priest, it specializes in protecting and healing. Alchemist is kind of like a hybrid between Priest and Mage. It's pretty good. It also has the benefit of that you can cast any Alchemist spell without having to worry about silence. Pretty good. Psionic, it's all about mental damage, and there's even some healing in there, so Psionic is pretty good. And Mage is all about attacking the opponent in some way, doing some debuffs on the enemy, or there's even a few buffs from the Mage. So it's actually really good. So Lord and Valkyrie is basically a fighter, only it's a hybrid kind of class, whereas they can also be priests. So it's kind of like a paladin, as it were. Then there is the Ranger. The Ranger is basically like an archer, as you can tell. Bow and arrow! No way. But it has a special ability where, well, it can also cast alchemist spells and create potions by combining potions together to create new potions. But the Ranger also has a special ability. Let me click on it. Right here. Searches all the time. For some odd reason in this game, it's a weird mechanic. I've not seen it in other games before, but I don't play that many old school RPGs, so I don't know. I do know that in this game, it has searches all the time. Basically, you go into an area, and if you have the search ability on, you might see something that was like literally invisible to your entire party, and it'll just appear out of nowhere and be like, oh look, that was there. And you can either tell your whole party to constantly search, although you have to walk constantly, and your party will constantly go, oh, we can't find anything. We still haven't found anything. Oh, we still haven't found it. Like, they'll literally say that constantly through the game. So, to be able to find things that are invisible, not memorize where everything that is invisible is in the game, which that's too much work. I'm not doing that. I'll just have a Ranger, and a Ranger will be searching all the time. It's very convenient. It's not necessary, but it's convenience. Then there is the Samurai. As you can tell, it's basically a guy. This is not like a regular traditional samurai, because a traditional samurai uses one sword, and they have a sidearm sword, just in case their main sword breaks. Okay, the katana is the main sword, or a daisho or something. I can't remember. I'm not the greatest at remembering. I just know that the katana is the primary sword, and the wakizashi is basically it's like a slightly larger dagger, and that's like their backup sword. And they sometimes use that to do that seppuku thing, or seppuku, whatever, that whole thing where they kill themselves. I am terrible at pronouncing things, but I digress. It has also this like thing, fearless, meaning like if the enemy tries to cast a fear spell, you get afraid. You will never be afraid. And lightning strike is actually really cool too. Basically, you get to hit extra few times, but it's every once in a while. It's like a 5% chance that every single time the samurai swings, it'll be a lightning strike, and there'll be 3 extra swings. The samurai also can cast mage spells. So I definitely want a samurai. There's also the ninja. Ninja can do alchemist spells. Throw ninja stars, obviously. Now, criticals in this game is really cool, because basically it's just a chance that you will instantly kill the enemy that you hit. Just a chance. Just a small chance, you know. Which is just crazy. insta kill spells in this game. It's in this game. It's that thing. It's crazy how much depth there is in this game. Now the ninja and monk are very similar in this next part. Okay, so monk, they can do psionic spells. Ninja, alchemist spells. Okay, both can throw ninja stars. This has the critical strike bonus, so it has ninja has a greater chance of insta killing. However, the monk is a better tank. They can even fight while blind. Oh, didn't remember that. Oh well. But they have this natural damage resistance, meaning they literally will have a certain amount of damage just disappeared. It's basically like a small shield, a hit point shield. So if, say, the enemy will attack you and they should do 10 damage, it'll really be more like 7, maybe 6, 8. It isn't that big, but in this game, like, damage numbers don't get big. They don't get humongous. It's possible to do like 100 or so damage, but it, like, every point is actually worth a lot. So keep that in mind. It's not that important for what am I talking? Not that it's very important to think about that, especially if you want a tank. So that's actually my tank. The tank I'm going to use. So ninja's nice, but I prefer the monk because it's basically the same. Now here's the thing right here: martial arts skill bonus. Okay, basically unarmed, just like in most RPGs. The monk can be unarmed, and unarmed can level up, and it becomes very powerful. It doesn't become as overpowered as it can be in like some of the some of the earlier Final Fantasy titles. But still, it's very, very, very good. And each hit, I believe, for unarmed martial arts it has a chance of knocking out the opponent. It's a small chance, more like 1%, but it's still very, very good. Let's go down this here. Oh, the rogue can't learn any spells. Basically, it's the fighter. Only it has a skill that only ninja and monk also has. And it is by far one of the most powerful things. Oh, here it is, right here. Stealth. I think if I choose monk, yep, there it is. Stealth and ninja. Stealth, yes. Now, you may think, oh, that's just the ability to sneak around. What's okay? What's the big deal? No, it's not sneaking around. In this game, there is no sneaking around, okay? Well, technically you can, but you have to be a little bit tricky about the gameplay mechanics. But it isn't sneaking. Because you can sneak around with a freaking an entire party of fighters and you can sneak around. Because the game mechanics, that's how it works. And stealth does not factor into it. Stealth, however, factors into your armor class rating. It is so powerful. Which is also why a ninja and monk can be tanky, but monk is super tanky. Rogue can also be super tanky because of it, because a rogue can actually wear some really good armors. Almost as good as Lord, Valkyrie, and Fighter, but I think the rogue actually, technically, is the best tank in the game. Technically. In my opinion, at least. Because it also has the ability to do super extreme damage with this backstabbing ability. And then you get a certain super powerful sword that's in this game. We won't see it until later, like several episodes down, but still, it's a very powerful sword. And oh, fix my chair there. But it just no. I don't like how overly powered that can be. It breaks the game too much. I'm okay with breaking this game a bit because this game is very, very, very hard. But it's not as hard as FTO, mind you. But it's still a difficult game. And it breaks the game too much. However, these two, Gadgeteer and Bard, they also kind of break the game, but I don't think it's that as bad as the Rogue. The Rogue just does so much damage, it's absurd. Gadgeteer and Bard, they will make a party basically invincible. Not in the early game, but into mid to late game, later mid to late game, basically you won't die. It's great. The Bard, it's really cool actually. I think it's awesome. That's why I can't deal without a Gadgeteer and Bard, because the Bard, a Bard will play instruments, and the instruments each has a spell. If you can play the instrument correctly, it will be a spell associated with playing that instrument. That is so cool. And the same thing goes with the Gadgeteer. The Gadgeteer will make items, see, merge items into gadgets. Into these gadgets, it's basically like the Bard. You use the gadget, and if you use it properly, it'll cast a certain spell, which is just plain awesome. It also has a special little extra weapon that levels up. I'll go into that more detail a little bit later in this same video, by the way. First, let's create our first character here. Our first character is going to be a female monk. Now, the attributes. Oh my, the attributes. The first real complexity of the game. Here we go. Now, let me. This isn't like special from the Fallout series. This is something else entirely. This seems more like Dungeons and Dragons. I think it is. I think it's more like Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. I've never really gotten into Dungeons and Dragons. But in this game, they each do something. So strength, like all of these, like they do affect how quickly skills level up, which I'll explain shortly. But it isn't important really. They affect how fast you learn them, but it, in the end, is kind of negligible, really, in my opinion. Especially since once you get there, it's like, yay, my skills are maxed out. Why do I have this maxed out now? So it's the secondary abilities of each one of these that really matter. So let me go through it. Strength, it has two things, right? Well, three things really. Besides the skills is associated with that, which you can look up if you get this game, which is I believe $10 on GOG. I think it's also on Steam, but I got it on GOG. Which, by the way, if you get it on GOG, there's like a patch you can get, and if you follow the directions, you're able to actually play this game at 1080p or even 4K, which is just ridiculous. Which is not going to really matter, and all. With all respect, because I mean, seriously, the graphics are terrible. So, yeah, like even this, all is blurry. There's no real clarity, but it's in 1080p. This game was usually meant for a 4:3 screen, so it should be blocked off here. But because it's in 1080p, it looks fine. So, I digress. Let's go back. So strength. Every point over 50 will add 2% extra damage to melee and ranged attacks, all physical attacks. So if you had 100 strength, that's plus 100%, double the damage that you can do with a sword or your fist or with a bow and arrow. Like, it's really good. It also adds to your carry capacity, which, by the way, all 6 characters, their carry capacity combines. It's really good. I'll explain a little bit more. It gets complicated. It's so much depth. It's crazy. What else? What's the third one? Oh yes, and each of these has one of these. It has a secondary powerful ability once you get these maxed out. These attributes maxed out. Then it goes into, I forget what it's called, but it's like this super area, which won't be revealed until later. Once you get it maxed out to 100, like strength 100, You go on to the secondary ability, and the secondary abilities is where the late game it's very important for the late game, and only some of them are actually really good. Strength, the secondary thing, if you max out strength, is the ability for the weapons to actually hit the opponent and actually do damage despite how much armor the enemy has, which is good, but it's not that great because you still can hit them and do damage despite not having it. So it's not that important, especially if you like do an anti-armor spell. It's not that big of a deal. I don't think it's that important. I think it's more important actually to keep your party alive rather than kill. It's more important to be more defensive than offensive in this game. That's the key. Speaking of which, my party, I'm going to design my party to be just super tanky, like almost impossible to kill. That's the whole point of what I'm going to create. Anyways, intelligence. All right. There isn't much to intelligence, to be honest. There really isn't much. It does not affect your spell points. It doesn't really affect much of anything else. It just helps most of the skills with how quickly they level up. However, it's the secondary thing it brings. I forget what it's called. Same as the strength. I forget what it's called too. What is it? Iron Will? No, that's from Piety. I don't know. But it's very, very important. Actually, this is the most important thing for me when it comes to a priest or a lord or Valkyrie. Very important to me because the secondary one is... Oh, almost remembered it. Ah, shoot. Oh well. I think it's Power Spell? No. Ah, it's going to really bother me not knowing. Oh well, no big deal. That thing, it will actually make it so that I will be better at spell casting and actually make all my spells even more powerful than they were before, which is very important for me when it comes to the priests, lords, or Valkyries. Other than that, intelligence is kind of worthless, really. Oh, Power Cast. Ah, there it is. I remember now. It's called Power Cast. There we go. Now, Piety. I'm going to make sure this is a priority for all 6 of my characters. And I'll explain, right? So Piety, it only affects spell points. I think it also affects stamina. Yeah, it affects how many stamina points. Oh, strength does that too. And so does vitality. But it's spell points and stamina points. Piety's really good, but it isn't the best. However, if you max out Piety, you get what I said earlier, Iron Will. That's the secondary ability after you max out Piety to 100. Iron Will is this ability that if it's really high up, it will give you extra magic resist to each of the 6 different families, which here are all the families of spell casting. And like, it will also make it so that all status effects, all damage effects from all spells will be less. It is very, very powerful and very important, and I want Iron Will on all 6 of my characters. One of them will have a hard time getting that up there, but I'm not too worried about it as long as my Bard and Gadgeteer are safe. I'm pretty sure I'd have nothing really to worry about. So yeah, I'm right. Yeah, that should be fine. But Piety is very, very important. Vitality, obviously, this is health points. This is easy. Watch. Oh, it went up by 1. Now, the more vitality you have in the early game, the more hit points you'll have overall for your character, because Like, it does not, it's not like Fallout 4, whereas if you add endurance later on, all those levels you didn't have that higher level of endurance will add up and accumulate all those lost hit points. No, it doesn't work that way in this game. It's either you have a really high vitality thing, or you're just not going to have those extra hit points. And remember, I said earlier, every hit point really counts in this game. However, in the grand scheme of things, I find hit points to be worth less than armor class and magic resist. Magic resist and armor class are far more important than hit points. Hit points are important, very important, but the ability to mitigate the damage itself is far more important because they are far more powerful than pure hit points. So I will not focus at all on vitality. However, in the next one, dexterity. Oh, vitality also does the stamina, by the way, and carry capacity as well. Okay, those are the other things. And also, if you max out vitality, it gives you a really good defensive bonus. It's basically the opponent's ability to do damage to you. Remember when I said for the monk, the natural damage resistance? It's a new damage resistance. It's only for physical attacks, but like it will absorb a significant amount of damage. It'll be more like 10, 20, 30 points of damage, I think, somewhere around there. I'm not sure if it will actually go up to the 30s, maybe more. I don't really know for sure because I haven't really created a party that specialized in maxing out vitality as much. I did once or twice when I first started playing the game, but I didn't really understand the game that much then. And I find armor class to be more powerful than having the max go for vitality. But you want a super tank, you want that maxed out. But it isn't really necessary. It's really good though. It's pretty good. Dexterity, that's what I really want. Dexterity, first off, it affects your ability to hit the opponent, 1. Alright, as you see, it doesn't really do much, but it also affects how fast you are. The more times you get to attack. It also, well, physically attack. It doesn't affect really spell casting. You can't cast multiple spells per round, but you can attack a few more times, maybe 1, 2 more times, which each one is worth its weight in gold. However, you max this out, and you get this ability. I forget what it's called. Reflection? Yeah, it's called Reflection. And it's like Vitality, only instead of like it's a shield where it mitigates the damage, it adds to your armor class. And it really adds up very importantly. It's like stealth, just as broken as stealth is. And stealth, okay, every 10 points into stealth, the stealth skill is 1 armor. Dexterity, not as much. It's more like 13 to 14. And maxed out, dexterity will give you a +7. So if I max out dexterity, get that extra thing, and that gets maxed out, and get stealth maxed out as well, that's +17 armor, which is very, very good. In the end, you want your characters to have around 25 to 30 armor class, and now, like 30 armor class, you're probably never going to get hit ever. That's just, it's crazy. And so vitality is not as important, maxed out and having that secondary skill, because sure, it reduces the amount of damage you get hit by, but this armor class itself just removes all damage altogether because you probably will never get hit. That's what armor class does. That's ridiculous. Now speed, it doesn't really, it affects exactly what you think it does, just how fast you are. Higher this is, the more likely you are to attack more times or cast your spell before everyone else. Good, but I don't think it's that good, in all honesty. It's a really good one. They actually recommend that if you are a monk, they max out dexterity and speed so you can attack more than everyone else. But my honest opinion, I don't really care too much about that. I'd rather have the pure damage and be able to be tanky first. Those are more important. Attacking as many times as you want, kind of pointless to me. Now, the secondary of it is just another speed. It's another thing of speed. Although it doesn't affect how many times you attack, it just affects how soon you can attack in the attack order of a round. That's all it does. Kind of really pointless. Senses. You don't want senses at all unless you are a ranged character. That's it. If you decide to shoot bows and arrows constantly, because that's all it really does. It helps a bit, but it's kind of a pointless thing. As you see, these are the things it does, but they just help level those things up. But thing is though, the secondary of it is it makes anyone that shoots a ranged weapon very good at it. They have a better aim at it. They have a better chance of actually hitting the opponent, like not just hitting him, but doing really good damage with it. But that's senses. It's just the ability to hit and hit them well. Strength boosts the damage of ranged weapons. So, yeah. Yeah. But I'm not going to make any ranged characters. Sure, I just say I was going to have a ranger, but I'm not. No. Not happening. Not happening. I'm not going to have him shoot with a bow and arrow. I'm actually going to have him just run around with a sword. Okay, now that that's all out of the way, I've already done the calculations of what I want for attributes for each character. I have it written down, and you heard that paper flip, I'm pretty sure. But like, I wrote down exactly what I want for each character. So, my first character, to take character, is going to be a human monk, a female human monk. I wanted it to be 54. No, it is really cool. Look, okay. If I left click, it goes up by 1. If I hold left click, it goes all the way up. Now notice, I can only put 9 points of attribute up for that thing, okay? Only 9. So if I left click and hold, it goes up. If I click individually, see that? There was a weird misclick there. It just didn't want to register that first click. You see that? That's weird. Granted, notice I was here, then here. That's weird. Okay, well, I do want 54 here, so yeah. All right, and then I want 50 intelligence. Leave it alone. 58 piety. Now, did you see that? It went up by 5. That's right click. You want to go up by 5s? You right click. It's pretty cool. And it's very useful for leveling up, to be honest. Anyways, 58. I want 58 there. Vitality, I want it to be at 45, so it's fine. Dexterity, 58. There we go! I think I'm done. 55 and 55. Yep. This is what I want for attributes of my monk. Now I have to say where I want all the skills to be. Now, no, there's nothing special I want for the monk. I just want the monk to be a tank. So I want to be good at close combat, good at martial arts. Martial arts bonus. Ah, that's great. And stealth, critical strike. Both will level up on their own. Critical strike chance is kind of negligible, so I don't really care. So stealth. Stealth is more important right now. So now there's 1 extra AC, 1 extra armor class. That's great. All right. Now, here's something that I don't know any game that does this, all right? You get to choose the picture of the character. Each of these pictures are slightly animated. You might see this character blink. It might creep you out because the character is basically stationary. All of a sudden, blink. What? What the heck? Strange. I know. But you can choose any picture you want. You can even choose this guy, even though it's supposed to be a girl. Or you can even choose it to be a different race altogether. Like, this is supposed to be a Draken. Yeah, I could choose it to be a Draken, which is a dragon human hybrid creature like thing. Okay, I didn't explain all the other races. Let me start. Okay, where is it? Okay, there's human, elf, dwarf, was it gnome, hobbit, fairy, lizard man, draken, felper, rawolf, basically, yeah, it's basically a werewolf, mook, which I'm pretty sure that seems very familiar to a certain movie that is very popular about some wars that happened amongst the stars a long time ago, some galaxy far, far away. I'm not going to really mention what because it's kind of obvious. Basically, tall furry creatures. Then, if you wanted a ninja, they made that an extra race for some odd reason. There's only 2 photos: female ninja, male ninja. Whoa! Which would be weird if you had a mook ninja, but there's only 2 photos for ninja, and there's no fur in the. Yeah. Anyways, I wanted it to be this. Where is the one it recommended? That was the one I wanted for the monk. Now, I also chose the name. What was it? Beta. Yeah, I chose these names a long time ago. You can look up the definitions of the names to figure, and maybe you'll probably figure out why I chose these names because I didn't know what else to do for names. Anyways, here's something that is a very D&D thing. I know this is in D&D. You're choosing the personality of your character. I believe these are actually from D&D. These ones. I believe. I don't know. I'm not that much into D&D, but I already said that, didn't I? Oh well. These don't really affect the personality too much or the gameplay that much. It really affects how the characters sounds and they talk throughout the game. You can decide that. That is something I said I was going to get to this. That no game I know does. You don't just choose their character, their personality, but you choose also their voice and how they talk, and it sticks. Like, I can make this person be like this.
Well, well. I wondered when you would get around to me. You won't be disappointed.
I could be like that, or I can make this person be this one. I like this one. This is like some kind of Nazi German kind of.
There will be many implements of destruction at my disposal, yeah?
Oh, that's hilarious. There's even some weird ones like this.
I've consulted the stars, and they forecast great things for our adventure.
Yeah. Or this weird ditzy one.
I'd love to join you. It sounds absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, I believe there's one that has like a southern guy. I think this is a southern one.
An adventure? Why, I'd be delighted to help you. It sounds most entertaining.
No, that's not. Oh, this is the southern one.
Sure, darling. Just leave it in my hands. I have loads of experience. Believe me.
That was a little suggestive. But anyways, you can choose the personality. I really like this one here.
All right then. But look here. I know what's what, so don't try to pull anything.
It's a bit like a little British kind of accent. I like that. I'm pretty sure some of the accents aren't exactly correct. But, hey, this is some weird fantasy world, so good enough. I believe that's the voice I wanted to. Yeah, that's it. Or I could do this one.
Some believe I can speak with animals, but it is they who communicate with me.
Okay, crazy lady. Somebody who can speak to animals. Well, with animals, but it is they who communicate with me. Okay.
All right then.
like speak to animals. I'm like, my thought is every single time I hear it, I'm like, but I didn't say anything about that. Why are you talking about that? That's a bit random. Okay. Well, anyways, there's my tank. All right. Now technically, I want to add her to the party. Double click. Oh, there we go. Double click. But I'm not doing that just yet. Not yet. Because I want to create the other 5 characters. All right. The second character I wanted it to be a ranger. And it's going to be a mook. All right. Now the reason why I've chosen the races for each one is only because of what they can do in the game, what I want. Basically, this is the only different race other than human I'm going to choose for the party. I know most people, they choose random races for each one, but I'm not going to do that. I used to be like, I choose one of all the races that I really like, but because of how spell points are, and I want piety and dexterity to be up there, and I want strength and vitality for others, and like how they all are set. Almost all of them are human, because human, the thing about humans, see, look, these are their starting stats for attributes. Humans, on the other hand, 45 everything. They're okay at everything, and because of that, they make it a lot easier to make the party I'm trying to create move a lot faster. Technically, I should do a human for the ranger, but there's a certain weapon I want that only a mook can use, and yeah, I'll really want that weapon. As I said before, I don't want any ranged characters. Because of that, I have 2 choices for a weapon for the ranger, and that's either a sword or a polearm. Polearm isn't that good. Swords are good, but I already will have 3 characters on the front line. It's kind of hard to get a 4th character in there. It's not going to work out so hot. It is possible, it works, but it doesn't work as well as I would like. So a polearm or a giant sword that can reach everyone would be preferable, and only a mook can have a giant sword. So mook it is, and it's gonna be a male. Yeah, a male mook. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay, so what I wanted for the male mook is 64 strength. Ooh. 64 strength, that's fantastic. Sadly, I can't get the piety much higher than 37 for efficiency's sake. Vitality stays the same. Dexterity probably goes up. Yep, straight to 67. And I had 2 more somewhere else. Oh, and speed. Huh. Yeah, that makes sense. Attack a little bit faster. Yep, moving on. And now here's the thing. Scouting, that's the skill related to finding invisible items. However, increasing this only does one thing, and it says it right here. It just determines the range at which the ranger can find hidden items. That's it. That's it. It did say like camouflage creatures, but that's completely pointless because camouflage creatures will attack you either way. Who cares? However, I do want my ranger to do other things. What is it? Ah, yes, mythology. Mythology is the ability to basically decide, well, figure out the weaknesses and strengths of every single enemy. Very important, mythology. The ranger will have the best ability at that. Well, is the highest, I think, of all the characters I'll have. So, mythology. They get a skill bonus for ranged combat, but I don't really care about that. I care about sword and close combat. That's what I care about more. For you, I will not give you a shield. Completely pointless. Don't need it. Alright. What did I want for a picture for this guy? Could be that one or that one. Okay, give you one of the girl ones. I'm assuming these are supposed to be the female ones. Y'all really kind of look the same. Technically, I could just do that. Alright, we're like, he's just a very hairy guy. Just very hairy. So they think he's a mook and he's really tall, but he's just a guy. I could do that. I might do that actually. Maybe a dwarf one will be. Oh, like this guy. This guy right here. Look at how much hair he has. Whew, look at that beard. Whew. That's a pretty good beard. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe this guy. This is supposed to be a gnome, I think. Yeah. That's actually really cool. He has a little pipe. Smoking a pipe. Smoke is bad, by the way. It's bad. Smoke is bad. Like, I think I'll just stick with this guy. Yeah. Because he has that thing. I'll just go with, I think, this.
'Tis wit, not strength, that make a solid lad. But I be lucky to have both.
Both. Right. Oh, yeah. Yes, the name I wanted. There we go. Keen. Now, technically, I can give this guy a full name, like... No, that's not one. Keen guy. And make his nickname Keen. But, the problem is, in the game, you will never really see the full name. Ever. Completely pointless. So I might as well just make the nickname it. Less thinking involved too. So there we go. 2 characters. 4 more to go. Here we go. Now this is where things get really interesting. I have seen several gameplay let's plays. Lots of let's plays online on YouTube of people playing Wizardry 8. And I don't see anyone ever doing class changes. I'm going to do a class change. It's probably because it's very inefficient. Maybe someone has. Oh well. Whether someone has or not, it's pointless to me. Mainly because, well, I think, well, everyone's trying to be efficient. I'm trying to be efficient too, in my own way. Technically, I should just leave it as a priest, but there's a certain thing I want done with the priest later on. I want him to be a lord, and I want him the front line. Lords are male only. Valkyries are female only. Technically, Valkyrie is considered better because of its secondary ability. Lords are not considered better. See, Lords have health regeneration. Basically, they regenerate 1 health point per round, which is pretty good early game. The Valkyrie has this, cheat death. It means there's a chance that the Valkyrie will just not die. Instead of dying, the Valkyrie will just be there and will heal and just like, oh, I should have died there, but I'm good. Which is cool, but no. I'd rather have a Lord. But I'll start him out as a priest because there's some priest spells I really need in the early game, and then eventually switch to Lord. However, here's the thing. Priests must have these. A 60 piety and 55 vitality. If I want to switch him to a Lord, he must have 55 strength, 55 piety, 55 vitality, 50 dexterity, and 50 speed. As you notice, I'm not meeting a lot of those requirements. So if I want to switch to those, I'll have to meet those requirements before I decide to switch. As such, this is how I'm going to take care of the priest. I'm going to do the 55 here, yeah. And for the intelligence, though, as I said before, this is most important because it has the power cast on it. That is most important. That is very vital. That is so important. Piety is somewhat important. I want 64. Really? 64? Oh yeah, because of the arrest. Because these two. Yeah, I want... Yep. That's perfect. That is perfect. Alright, moving on. Alright, now I get to choose spells. Now, I did slightly mention these, not really. These are the 4 realms of spells. Now, these are the 4 usual ones. Fire, water, air, earth. But then there's 2 more. Mental, basically psychic abilities, and divinity. Like holy, blah, blah, blah kind of things. So, what did I want? I wanted, I wanted paralyze and healing. Those are 2 spells I wanted on my priest. Yeah, well, for the get-go. Now, here's something very important to keep in mind about magic. This is how good you can cast a spell, 1. How effective the spell is, 2. And 3, the higher these are, the more likely it is you will learn a higher level spell later on. You can't learn a higher level spell until this is high enough. And because of that, I will be doing some power leveling so I don't have to worry about that. This bonus though will help out, which by the way, skill bonuses just add 25% on top of what the actual value is. So 25% of this. So if it's this, 10, it would be a bonus of 3 because it rounds up. Technically it's 2.5, but it'll be 3. So it'll be 13 here. Here it would be like, I don't know. I would end up with 17 or 18. Yeah, I think 18 would be what I would end up having for my divinity, which, yeah, it's kind of pointless. The next level of spells, level 2 spells, I get them at when I get to priest level 3, and if I have 25 in my divinity, which shouldn't be too hard to get. I want, what else do I want for my priest? I don't want communication. Oh yeah, that's right. That's for a different character. So, I'm not too worried about these per se. No, those will level perfectly fine when I power level. But this one is most important, so I learn this spells faster. I do want this to be up there and this to be up there. I was thinking about making the priest use shields a lot, but that's not what I want. No, that's not what I want at all. Let's do You know what? I really like this picture, so... No, wait. Let's do this one. Right here. I like this one. Yeah. Little scar on the face. Oh, yes. And let's have... What? Oh, yes. I want this guy to be like, yeah, I'm the most intelligent. I'm the best. Screw you guys.
You're going to need someone of my superior intelligence. Some call it ego, but I call it talent.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. All right, I'll call this guy Hugo. Oh, not Hugo. Hugo. Why did I type an A? What's wrong with me? Ah. Anyways, Hugo. All right, 3 more. Samurai. Remember, samurai can can cast mage spells. So that's what I want. Human. I want this guy to, yeah, I want him to be a male. I want it to be a male. Yes, a male samurai. Ooh. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What, 57, 55. Piety, I want that high. 52. And vitality. Leave it alone. Dexterity. 61. Oh, that's it. Can't do any more. Is that what I wanted? 55, 45? Yes, that is. Now, he can cast mage spells, but I'm not really worried about him casting spells. I'm more worried about him, for right now, being able to kill things as quickly as possible. Dual weapons, I'm not gonna lie, does nothing. It says, the intricate ability to wield 2 weapons at once successfully. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. It basically does nothing. It kind of affects your secondary weapon hand's ability to fight, but it's negligible, in all honesty. But yeah, this is fantastic. That's great. I already have that, so I'm gonna choose the other one. Yeah, I like this. It's not exactly very samurai-like. However, I like the picture, so. And I think samurai are awesome and are supposed to look really cool. And this looks really cool, so yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there actually is a samurai-like face here. I mean, I suppose this one could be, but no. It doesn't look as cool to me. It looks kind of lame. I don't like it as much as I like the other one. This one looks a lot cool. Oh, go back. This one looks cooler. So I'm going to go with this for the samurai, because I like the samurai a lot. Ajax. Check. What? I mixed my O and A. Why am I doing that? That makes no sense. Alright. I want... Oh, yes. That's right. I wanted this one.
What do you want? If it walks, I can change that.
Make him a little bit crazy. Completely the opposite of what a samurai is. Well, kind of. I believe some samurai were a little bloodthirsty. And historically speaking, I believe. I don't know. I'm no historian. But I still think samurai is a really cool thing. And I still think this is a really cool photo. So I'm just going to combine the cool stuff together into a blend of just awesomeness. Yeah, we're going with that. Alright, 2 more to go. Let's make the bard. Boop. And it'll be a female. because I already have 3 males. I need to balance it out. Gotta have my equality. So, let's see here. What did I want for a bard? 52. Boop. Yes. 50. 55. Vitality 51. And dexterity 67. Perfect. 45 speed, 55. Yep, that's exactly what I wanted. Fantastic. Now, keep in mind, primary concerns, remember, I was piety and dexterity, but the bard doesn't use spell points to use instruments. It uses stamina points to use instruments. Stamina always regenerates, which is so powerful. But like, the more stamina you have, the better for bards and gadgeteers alike. So that's why I put strength and vitality. Just thought I'd let you know. So, music, the ability to play the instruments. And the bard, I think, will be in charge of 2 other, these things. Artifacts. Basically, it's the ability to identify items. Very important. Not that important, because there's certain spells that help take care of that. But I'd rather have that up there. And communication! This is fantastic. It basically just changes prices. And none of these other things really interest me that much. So I want communication up there. And because this is the skill bonus of the bard, it should get up there. It should be maxed out very easily for me. And that would be just amazing. And if it could go beyond 100, oh my gosh. Which it can. That's possible. It's possible to get 125 communication. That's awesome. But I digress. Moving on. Alright. Now what do I want for you? Is there a cool elf photo? Let's go back. I want it to be like, I don't really care about fighting, because I'm gonna just have the bard and the gadgeteer just sitting there, just like, la 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 la. Oh, you guys are fighting. Oh, whatever. I guess that would. What about laid? Yeah, they're both gonna be laid back.
Just relax. It's gonna be all right.
I would like it if she'd be like smiling, but she's kind of just like meh. I like that one though. This looks cool, but this one is strange. The eyes are just not even at all. It's like they kind of messed up and they were like, whatever. Some people do have faces like that. Pretty sure I do. Oh no, I don't look at myself in the mirror. Just kidding. But like, it looks off, and I don't like that so much. Yeah, no. Even this one looks a little off. You're probably just squishing the other eye though. I want this one, I think. And she has like a gold necklace, and she's just like, nah. And she's kind of smiling.
Just relax. It's gonna be all right.
she probably just like put on fake elf ears and just like, what? Can't hear you. Don't really care. Play some instrument. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I like that. That's great. Going to name her Addison with a Y. look it up, you know why. Woo! Moving on. Last one. Gadgeteer. Gadgeteer. And Gadgeteer is 51 strength. 52 that. Now technically I can make Bard and Gadgeteer gnomes, because they would also be good, but I don't like gnomes. Just don't. So technically if you were going to recreate my build, you could go for gnomes for these two if you want, but I doubt anyone would want to go for what I'm doing here. I think this is what I wanted. Yes, it is. Alright. Now, the Gadgeteer is going to really focus on this. Now, this is very important. There are things that are locked. This is basically lock picking. And undoing traps and stuff. This is a very important thing to have. Not that important. Rogue is technically the best at this because it has a skill bonus on it, but yeah, I like it's not that important because there's spells to help out with it, so it's important to have it up, but it's not important to have it maxed out. Not that important at all. Now, here's the thing. Modern weapon, Gadgeteer can shoot modern weapons. Basically, it's like you have someone from the future in this game and just like, yeah, I built myself a gun. I'm gonna shoot people with it. It's pretty cool, but it's actually just kind of, no. Engineering, that's the ability to use the items created. Well, since I want her to just be like, la la la, what? I'm doing stuff? What? Whatever. Don't care. I'll just have her have a shield. Defend herself. Yeah. Sounds good. Alright. Really? That's, yeah. The other one was just relax. So this one. Yeah, that's what I wanted. What the photo is, I don't know. Is there one where she's smiling? Look at all the human ones don't smile. Let's go with the other elf one then. This is the only one that's smiling. Wait, is this one smiling too? Kind of? Not really. This one is though. Yeah, let's make this lady be our Gadgeteer. Briona! There we go. Aha! There's the party! Woo! Now, technically I would start the whole thing here, but let's cancel this. It's already saved the characters. Okay, see, look, they're here. They're still here. However, there's an intro video. Let's watch it.
Before the beginning, the Cosmic Lords crafted 3 artifacts. First was the Astral Domine, infused with the power of life itself. Next, the Chaos Moleri, source of all change. Last was the Destiny Dominus, containing all knowledge. The Lords created the very first world using these artifacts, Planet Dominus, and placed it next to the Cosmic Circle. When the work of creation was finished, the Lords hid the items using the Cosmic Forge, and so their secrets remained hidden for a time. Then the unthinkable happened. The Cosmic Forge was stolen. The magic concealing the 3 items failed. News of the artifact spread throughout the countless worlds. With it spread an even more unbelievable rumor. Whoever obtains all three will gain the powers of the Cosmic Lord. The Astral Domine was first of the three to be found. Hidden on a remote world, it was the subject of a bitter war between the militant Umpane, the devious Trang, and the Dark Savant. In the end, the Dark Savant gained the Astral Domine. Within it, he found a map pointing to Dominus. The Chaos Molare was discovered half a galaxy away. The Mook found the device when it tore through a nearby moon with unbelievable force. When the Mook recovered the object, they too discovered a map. The Destiny Dominus collected dust in a remote monastery on Dominus for uncounted years. Its true powers concealed with magic writ by the Forge. But the Destiny Dominus is no longer there. A madman named Martin stole it, they say. And Martin has vanished. A new age is about to begin. A new page will be written in the Book of Fate. It is the time of the Ascension and the dawning of a new destiny. Who will prove worthy? Who will become cosmic lords themselves?
Oh, that video. Okay, so that was the intro video to Wizardry. Oh. Where's the... What happened to the menu audio? What? What's going... Is it actually... Let's go through the audio. Let's go through the master. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Okay. Well, anyways, that was the intro video. Their ability to tell something in that intro video is very weird. There's only 3 videos in the whole game, by the way. There's that intro video. There's an intro video after I start this. And then there's a video for when you beat the game and one of the 3 different endings, and only for the evil ending. Not the other 2 good endings. Just the one evil ending. Some strange stuff there. Well, anyways. Our party is now set. Beta, Keen, Hugo, Ajax, Edison, and Briona. And another intro video after I do this. Oh, yes. I'm going to play this on normal. If my party becomes a little bit overpowered, which it probably will be near the mid to late game, I will just change it to expert. I am not going to do an Iron Man game of this. It is possible, but like, there's a possibility that the game will just troll me and kill me just by doing nothing. And there's also glitches in the game, and I don't want to deal with those glitches. Technically, I could copy and paste the save game file of the Iron Man game, but then it's like, well, I'm just basically playing it like without Iron Man. So what's the point? So I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Normal.
Grimpak the Mook hired you as an escort for a long voyage. He didn't say a word about where he was going or how long it would take. You were astonished to see such a huge metal ship. Grimpak must be a very great wizard to make such a thing sail. As soon as you entered, the ship set sail. That metal ship went straight up, making a sound like 1,000 angry dragons. For a long time, you sailed through the endless night. Then, at last, Grimpak broke his long silence.
The time has come to tell you the purpose of my trip. My fellow Mook have discovered an extremely unusual artifact. This has led them to a world called Dominus, where they are investigating a native ritual called the Ascension. They have asked me to assist, but there is some danger involved, so I have brought you along as protection. We will be landing shortly. Our descent may be a bit difficult.
As you begin your descent, your craft comes under the baleful watch of the Dark Savant and his black ship.
Master, we have detected a ship.
I arrived too late to stop the others, but these intruders will never enter the circle!
What should I do?
Destroy them!
The shock of the attack throws you to the deck. For a time, all is dark. Slowly, your senses return. You have washed up on a beach among the rest of the crash debris. It's a miracle that you're still alive, but your biggest challenge is still ahead of you. Your ship is gone. You're stranded on a strange world, and somewhere, far above, the Dark Savant awaits. You turn toward shore and plan your next move.
Aha! Here we. What was that weird jump for? Okay. Oh,
Blimey, we are in a spot. Could be worse though. At least we're in one piece.
You see that? See that? That's fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna go over here. Over here. Okay, we're in the game. Finally. After forever. Alright, as I said, the graphics are horrendous. Look at this. Is terrible. This isn't really that good. But it's still pretty cool. If I wanted to see the faces of the characters, I could do this, but oh my gosh, you can't see anything. So I like to have it like this. You can actually change all of it, like, but yeah, these little arrows, you can decide which of these are showing or not. I'll leave this up just for symmetry's sake. All right, let's take care of who's in front and who's not. For the beginning of it, it's going to be interesting because I will have 4 in front and do the thing. I was like, oh, I really don't want to do that. It works, but it's very finicky to make it work properly.
You have summoned me?
No, I want. See, here's the thing. As you see, when I moved over here, everyone moved together, but in their position stays the same. It's just strange. Everyone moves together all at once. But that's how old school RPGs worked. Like old school dungeon crawlers worked. Now to make this work, I will have the ranger be here in the middle, and it'll look like this. These 3 be the front line. This guy will have a sword that will just reach everyone. But in the meantime, he won't.
Here.
So I'm going to have to do it like this.
What now?
You
What
bellowed?
now? So annoyed. Ah! Just let me kill things. Okay, let's have it like this. I have the priest over on the left. Ranger over here, yeah. Beta will be here. Ajax. That's Keen, right? Yeah, Keen. What's his name again? What did I make his name be? Oh, Hugo. Hugo. This is Briona. And this is Addison. Yep, Addison. Always liked that name. Good name. Alright, well. You see that? They're all like, oh, okay. I'll do that. You see that? Even tells you where they moved here. I could tell the game not to do this. Not to show this at all. But I like it showing that. Now, there are enemies right over here. You can see them over there. If I click on them, see, this is what I meant by mythology. It tells me all this information, like how much experience I get for killing one, how much stamina they have, which is always absurdly high, so it's a pointless stat. But then it'll also say all the resistances. Now, here's some screens that you didn't see before. Aha! the equipment screen. You didn't see this before. Alright? And I don't know why, but they're always naked. You don't really see any, like, you don't see the nipples or anything like that. You really don't see their stuff. I don't know why they did it that way. It's just confusing. Seriously? They couldn't, if they made this, why couldn't they just, you know, annoying. That's annoying. And don't have like some basic clothes like all the other games. But hey, it's fine. So I want, as I said, I want the monk to be, I want an all melee party. I don't want shurikens to be thrown by the monk. I want it to be unarmed only. So that's how you do that. And this is all the damage effects. Here's how to get to all this thing. As you see here, stealth skill has 1 armor. And right now the armor class is 1 because of stealth. It averages out to 2 because this, like, if the monk here is attacked in the chest area, well, it's going to have to go through 3 armor. Feet 2. Sadly, the bard will have a hard time. Sorry, bard. I keep saying bard because I see a B here. The monk here will have a hard time finding any armor because the monk can't really wear much. So it's just going to be robes, leg robes, and some sandals for a long time. No big deal. All right, and you have a bow and arrow. For now, you're just gonna, well, I'm gonna give you the bow and arrow for now, because I don't have any sword to give you right now. So that's lovely. You have that. Oh, you have 3 potions of light heal. All right. I should probably give this to someone. You. Yeah. Well, actually. Oh, okay. Now, if I want to split stacks of items like this, click on split, click on it, and then you decide. And the 1 is in my hand, 2 are there. See that? Okay, so I want to give her 1. Want to give him 1, since he's on the front line as well. These 4 are on the front line, so I want to make sure they all have healing potions. Okay, and I want him to have a mace. Later on, when he becomes a lord, he's going to have a sword and a mace. That's the plan. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And as you see here, katana and a wakizashi, secondary weapon. But because of this game, they're using both at the same. I didn't say that, did I? Did I? I can't remember. Well, anyways, the samurai in this game, they use the secondary weapon, even though it's like backup just in case this breaks or you lose it. Then you can just pull this out and use it as another sword just in case. But like in this game, you could use both, 1 in one hand and 1 in the other. What is that? What is this cheese? But whatever, you know, it's fine, I guess. Notice it's not normal samurai apparel at all, but it's fine. Eventually I'll get some. Sword! A sword. Here you go. It's all good. It's a sword, right? Yeah. I know there's like a short sword in this game that's actually considered a dagger. Strange. Very strange. For right now, you're going to carry nothing. But you have an instrument to play. To make all the enemies fall asleep. And since I can't find a shield for you right now, and there's nothing else for you to do, you shoot bullets out of your gun. Now, this is a gadgeteer thing only, and even if you like switch a character to be a gadgeteer, they'll automatically come up with a gun out of nowhere. It's an omni gun. Basically, you can shove almost anything in there as bullets. For right now, it's just stones and darts, I think, will be later. Just a little bit. Right now, it's just stones. But later, it can shoot arrows and bolts that are used for crossbows and stuff. It can shoot basically anything that's used as ammo. Because it'll be upgraded. I don't like the Omni Gun, because later on, the Omni Gun will have a status effect where it will cause blindness to the enemy, which sounds like a good thing, but it's actually a very annoying thing, because literally the enemy will just run away. And I find that extremely annoying. It'd be nice for the higher difficulty, expert difficulty, but I'm not playing on expert, and if I do, I still don't want it, because that's some leveling that I could have had, but instead the enemy just runs away. Very annoying. And then that enemy could join some other group of enemies, and suddenly I'm dealing with more than I was before. I really don't like that. So later on, these two will just stand around with shields and just constantly be defending and using their respective items to help out the party when needed. Alright, well, I think everything is set for now. Oh, let me talk about this real quick first for anyone playing. Now, here's all the different things for changing things. I switched out, what is it? Turn left and right, because these four used to be the arrow keys. I had to switch these. Like, see, these are still the arrow keys. I had to switch these two to move forward and back, and switch these to strafing. In fact, I think I'll switch these to switch that to Q and E. That way, it's all there. Yeah, that's good. This was for the olden days, but I mean, they weren't thinking too much. They didn't realize that the mouse should be able to look around and you should strafe. Which is strange, because I mean, I'm pretty sure Unreal Tournament was a thing around this time. I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly the most well-versed in what game came out when. And also changed one more thing too. Was it in here? No, it's not in this. I'm pretty sure I disabled some of these things. Like there's a switch weapons was a thing, but now that has been changed to something else entirely, all because of that. It's somewhere in here, but it's now different. Oh, it's not assigned at all. Swap weapons not assigned because it used to be W, and this apparently was probably Q. I don't like quick saving and quick loading, so it's pointless. Pointless to me. Don't care. Alright, and one other thing. You want to select... It's one of these, isn't it? What is... Oh, mouse look toggle? Yeah, that's it. You want this selected. Default, it's off. You want it on. Alright? That's what you want for anyone who's playing it now. So the game is a little bit more... user-friendly for modern gaming, because look, I can select things with this mouse. But if I want to move around and look around, I right-click, that mouse pointer goes away, but now I can look. And if I use WASD, I can move around like anyone normally would. And if I use Shift along with it, hold Shift though.
Look about, critters coming.
Oh yeah, there's enemies over there. You can run. But notice if you run, the yellow bars are moving down. That's the stamina points. Run out of stamina, you go unconscious. Not a good thing. Alright? So, right click again. I can do this again. Isn't that fantastic? That's awesome. Alright? And as you notice, I put Q and E on turning, so that's the thing. I'm going to do the first battle here. It's usually everyone's first battle, but some people just avoid it altogether. I'll give you an idea of what combat is like in this game, and I'll call it a part there.
Come on, you wee beasties, let's fight.
Now, here's a good gimmick I like to use.
Good.
Okay. You know what? I decided I don't want that there. I don't want the formation thing there. Yeah, I'll leave that up. Alright, so if you walk, you can walk in the battle, but it does take up some of these turns depending on what order they are in the battle. But one of the important things here is if you walk, you can automatically get everyone in your party to attack after all the enemies in the round, which is a very powerful mechanic. Very helpful. So I want to do that. You can also run, but I prefer to walk because it doesn't use any stamina. Oh, I forgot to tell her to use her instrument. Oh, that was dumb of me. Oh well.
There.
This is great.
Take this.
Now you're getting a taste of what it's like in this game. Now I can decide which one attacks what, but usually I just let the game decide unless it's a really tough fight. Then I'll be like, okay, everyone focus on this one. Okay, I'm gonna have to move everyone because not everyone can reach the crab. And I'm gonna have you use your loot this time.
Sure.
Oh, crab attacked you. Alright, if I just... Aha, see? Now, just because I was facing this way does not mean everyone is turned to it. But when I say walk, and I just use the arrow buttons, it will automatically revert to where I'm facing. Clever trick there to not use any of the walking bar there. Because if I use it, see it moves, and that uses some of the action, well, the initiative of the other, well, some of the allies, which will then prevent any from doing anything. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I was going to use you to heal the... Oh, well. Oh, I gotta love this. You gotta love how it tells you everything that was happening here. And I can review it too if I wanted. Because if I do this, see here? See that? I can turn the combat text on or off, general text, dialogue text. It's awesome.
Look, creatures!
That's nice. Oh, alright. Turn that off. Don't want to look around. Now I do. Right here. Alright. Now,
You
heal.
bellowed?
Now, if you want to cast a spell to heal, you go over here. I'm pretty sure you're picking up already how to do spells. Now, this determines how powerful it is. 7 is most powerful. Right now, I don't even have enough spell points to cast it once. This is how much it costs right there. 3. This is how many spell points I have. But as I level up, I'll get more. As I power level, well, work on this, I will get more skill in the divine skill, and I'll be able to cast it better. Ah, I was able to cast it. Green means I can cast it without fail. Yellow, there's a small chance I'll fail. Orange, I will most likely fail. And red, there's a gigantic chance I will fail, but there's still a small chance I might succeed at casting it. So, that's the thing. I think I've told everything I can about this so far. Next, I'll open this chest next. Usually that's the first thing I do, but I'm going to open the chest after. I'm going to camp here. I can click on this or press C. Yes. Alright. So, all of his spell points are back. I'm going to save here. What should I call it? I'll call it YouTube. YouTube! Yes. Okay. Well. I could quit from here. I'll just go back to the main menu. Alright. Well, that is Wizardry 8. This has been part 1 of my Wizardry 8 playthrough. This has probably been a very long video. But this has been Blue Rocket Views, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.